The treadmill. The more X a market has, the less X is worth to that market. It's why selling seashells by the seashore is not only difficult to say, but also difficult to pitch to prospective shareholders, even if you do manage to get tribute band Baba to perform money, money, money during your presentation. This is a lesson the Mugabe government learned the hard way during the hyperinflation crisis of the early 2000s, when they began printing Scrooge McDuck amounts of money to combat Zimbabwe's failing economy. And then there was the $100 trillion bill, which has a current estimated value of about a half-eaten packet of chicken twisties. The $100 trillion bill is one of the many basically worthless things left behind by Robert Mugabe, who always struck me as the sort of man who would cut his newborn in half so he could have twins. But I'm not here to disparage deceased world leaders per se. I'm here to, much like the music of Katy Perry, shallowly comment on the human condition in a demonstratively unqualified manner. And you're going to hear me roar. I'm heading to my home in Northgate. It's peak hour on Hoddle Street, or as my housemates and I call it, the treadmill. I look around at the other drivers, releasing the brake, then pressing the brake, releasing, pressing, releasing, pressing, as if we're all participating in the least exciting survivor challenge ever. Occasionally, the frustration becomes too much and a synapse of decency will snap, throwing me into a seismic rage. "You absolute chode," I bravely whisper with my windows up and without moving my lips. "What's your rush, Ford Falcon with a Monster Energy drink bumper sticker? I suppose you've got to get home quickly so you can actively not hug your children." I've been known to project. "And what does this botched vasectomy want?" I mumble to another driver like a phallus-centric ventriloquist. "Okay, Hyundai gets with solar-powered sunflower bobbleheads on the dashboard. I'm sure your 37 rescue cats aren't dying to hear the next chapter of your Grant Denyer-based erotic fiction novella." I say all of this, knowing full well that the only thing waiting for me at home is a light and easy microwave meal for one and a David Foster Wallace novel that I will read 2 lines of before calling my dad and hoping he uses the word proud in any context. As I sit in my car handing out free roast like a soup kitchen at Christmas, I start to view myself and the other drivers as those $100 trillion bills spilling out of our label ATMs, each one more worthless than the next. The only difference between us and those bills is that we, no matter how little we contribute to society, are likely to overestimate our own value. Hence the unjustified classist tone often heard in the voice of professional athletes at press conferences or employees of the body shop when they insist that the testers are for everyone and you shouldn't even be moisturizing your feet in the store. But a lot of people need to feel that they are important and that their work is incomplete in order to carry on. Some use charity work as a well of self-worth, and some rely on the well of materialism. Either way, they all chase the carrot, not because they lack nutrition, but because they like to chase things. In the event that they do get the carrot, there'd be nothing left to do but twiddle their thumbs and wait for death, at which point they'd probably YouTube thumb twiddling tutorials and purchase some ergonomic thumb gloves to make their thumbs more twiddleable. Anything to run out the clock, really. And why do we shame the ambitionless thumb twiddler who thirsts for neither philanthropy nor materialism? Has it become so socially unacceptable to simply enjoy life that we are now expected to enjoy it? That's a lot of pressure to put on a bit of barely self-aware carbon. What if I don't care for enjoyment? What if I just want to be and then stop being? And if the social pressures aren't bad enough, manning the megaphone of how we ought to be living are the peddlers of platitudes, advertising companies. Advertising is inescapable. Billboards, podcasts, the sides of trams. At this rate, my tombstone is likely to be sponsored by some sort of dry shampoo company reading, "He may be dead and limp, but your roots don't have to be." It's not a setting we can toggle on or off. Advertising is, and always has been, just there, everywhere, like clouds or pungent lavender bushes with bees in them. And that's fine. Advertising can be a wonderful thing. It's just that a lot of it isn't. Overfunded political campaigns under the guise of justice, underfed models under the guise of health, it can sometimes feel that mass discontent is what really stimulates an economy. Forgotten pop singer Sandy Tom may have pined for the 60s and 70s, but I don't think she went far back enough. Take me back to the birth of humankind. The good old days when you could eat some dubious green goop you found on the floor, fornicate in a cave, and then slowly pass out on a jagged rock only to wake up to a pack of wolves playing tug-of-war with your kidneys. Oh, I wish I was a troglodyte with feces in my hair. It would be much better than being here in this ebb and flow of advertising and traffic, feeling like $100 trillion. A haiku for Ma. Mum smelled my forehead. You still smell like my baby. I should visit more.